Hello, everyone. Thank you for letting me spend some time with you today. I do appreciate it. Uh, if you happen to be listening to the audio only, please do us a favor and check out the videos. Give us a like, share, subscribe, all those good things. Just makes it easier for people to find us. You know how everything works today with computers and all that good stuff. Before I get too far along, let me remind everyone books are available at authorjerrymitchell.com, or you can go to givegod90.com and follow the links there as well. That's all. It all works. It all works. Or it did the other day. Let's put it that way. I got a lot to get into today. And, when you outlive the people that portrayed characters that you enjoyed, it gives you cause to pause and reminisce just a little bit. Chuck Norris passed away the other day, and I don't want this to turn into a eulogy for him, not by any stretch of the imagination. But I think there is a lesson in his life and in his passing that we should probably look at. If you're a regular listener, you know I have said that actors, actresses, they're paid professional liars. It's true. It's what they do. It's what they do. The characters that we watch on stage and on screen and on television, they are made believable when the actor or actress steps into that role and loses who they are to become the character. They're lying to you, right? And if you pay to watch a movie, or you pay to watch a stage performance, or pay for television, you are quite literally paying someone to lie to you for entertainment purposes. It's like when you go to a magic show. You go to a magic show, you pay your money to get in, and you expect to be tricked, right? You're paying somebody to trick you. It's that simple. Now, are these people talented? Yes, they are. I'm not going to take that away from them. They are very talented. And they can make you believe something for a short time, but eventually the show ends. The actors and actresses move on to another role. You go on to watch something else or be entertained by something different. It's that simple. And politicians are no different. Politicians are exactly the same. They pay good money to make themselves known, to get elected. When you live in a democratic type of government. Sometimes in other forms of government, they come to power by more unscrupulous ways, right? I'm talking about, of course, the most widely known people, right? The actors, the actresses, the politicians, but there's more localized people that do the same thing. They might be involved with a board of directors for something in your area, maybe a corporation that you know about. They can even be found in local school boards, some police departments all over the world. Now, does all of the guilt lay at the feet of those who become famous? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. They wouldn't be famous if other people in their societies didn't treat them like they were somebody important, right? When somebody has a position of importance, we respect the position, right? And there's a lot of people that confuse fame with importance. And that's kind of sad. You may have an important job, right? Doesn't make you famous. You might be famous, but not have an important job. Doctors, lawyers, I'd say they're important jobs. Police officers are important jobs, but they might not be famous. Actors and actresses, they're famous, but are they really important? I don't think an actor is quite as important as a doctor. Just saying. A police chief or a police commissioner, that's a job that's very important. The person holding that position really isn't tremendously important. It's an important job, of course. But, eventually that person that holds that job, they're probably going to be replaced by somebody else. Just like politicians, just like actors. The job that someone holds in many ways in these days has been allowed to define who the person is. Now, I'm going to use Chuck Norris as an example here. He became famous for his acting, but that isn't who he really was. Now, he used his fame to help finance his ultimate goals, but he never forgot who he was to begin with. He was a martial arts student, and he was a martial arts instructor, and a very, very good one. He never stopped training right up to the week that he passed away. I had a chance to meet somebody years and years ago who worked on a movie set with him. Now, this guy wasn't a movie star. He wasn't an extra or anything like that. He worked behind the scenes. He was an electrician. And I was told by this gentleman, yeah, he was famous, but he was very, very reserved. He was very quiet, very humble. He didn't need to be boisterous. He didn't need to be secluded. He was comfortable with who he is, or was, I should say. A lot of times he said he would work out between scenes, not to just stay in shape, to keep kind of buffy, how you got to look on camera, right? But he knew that wasn't who he was. He knew what he was doing. He knew he was portraying a character. Now, I've met other people who actually were extras on movie sets and different things. And they say that there are some famous actors, once their scene is over, they'll go back to their dressing room, and that's where they stay until the next scene is ready. They don't associate with the little people. They don't hang out and just talk. I grew up in a very small state. And when you grow up in a very small state, you have a chance to meet the politicians. And some were really nice. Some weren't. Some allowed their fame, as famous as you can be from a small state, to become arrogance. They thought they were far more important than they really were. But it doesn't matter, because something that all of these people have in common, there is something that they all have in common, and you can't escape it. No matter how famous you are, no matter how arrogant you are, no matter how humble you stay, everyone is eventually going to leave this earth. We're all going to die. And the only thing that we can take with us is who we are. And who we are depends on how we live. If you look at what Solomon wrote, Proverbs 3:31-35. Do not envy a violent man, or choose any of his ways. For the Lord detests the perverse, but he is a friend of the upright. The curse of the Lord is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the home of the righteous. He mocks the mockers, but gives grace to the humble. The wise will inherit honor, but fools are held up to shame. Are we, as a world full of people, actually making someone who is famous a fool by rewarding either a perverse lifestyle or allowing them to be foolish on their own? Chances are yes. Chances are yes. In Psalm 116:15, we read, "Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of one of his saints." Does our Creator bless the humble? Yes, he does. Absolutely, he does. We often confuse humility with unimportance. Can't talk. We see somebody who's willing to put the needs of the others around them ahead of their own needs, and we think they're weak. Sometimes we think of a saint as being someone who's very, very timid. It actually takes a lot of courage, a lot of strength to stand on the word of our Creator. Now, I don't want anybody to think that I am leaning towards Chuck Norris being a saint. I'm sure he would not approve of that. Not at all. And I'm not about to get in trouble with that. He did profess his faith on many occasions, many occasions, in many different places. I watched an interview a long time ago, and he was talking about this lady that he was dating that he would later marry, and she says, "I'm just reading my Bible. Why don't you come over and read it with me?" And it's kind of where he came back to his faith. He grew up as a believer for a young person where he grew up. Did he get it right all the time? No, absolutely not. Not even after he came back to his faith. He left it for a little while, came back to it, but he understood it. He understood that he needed the Almighty in his life. He understood that, and he professed that, and he put that out there a lot. What I do want to point out is that we don't see each other the way our Creator sees each of us. We confuse fame with importance. Our Creator sees how important each one of us as individuals are. And when he makes us famous, right, it's for his glory and his honor. And we stay humble when we offer praise and worship to our Creator, because we're putting him first. We're putting him above self. Being famous while we are alive on earth is far from being important when we stand in front of our Creator. You can be famous here. You might think you're important here, but when you stand in front of your Creator on Judgment Day, what's really important? Is it all the fame? Is it all the money? Is it all the things that people say about you when they're next to you and you can hear them? But not only that, when we stand on Judgment Day, if we don't happen to be famous, if we don't happen to be somebody who thinks we're above everybody else, how do we treat those who choose to be famous or have fame pushed on them? Do we make them feel overly important? A lot of us do. We buy the tabloids, we spend money on the movies, all that kind of thing. Does it make them? Well, let me rephrase that, because what I want us to consider is, are we making someone feel more important than they are? Do we make somebody feel more important than they really are? Or for the wrong reason? Are we saying you're important because of your position or because of what you do, not you're important because of who you are? You see, the only person I know that deserves both fame and importance is our Creator. Everybody else falls very, very far behind. Just something to think about. Until next time, because we need to consider, are we looking at the importance of a position, or are we actually saying to someone, you're important not because of what you do, but because of who you are? Until next time, I do wish you many, many blessings, everyone.